Thanks for joining us. This is a Friday night. I'm Lillian Muli. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Wilson Mushora. And Friday night begins now, and we go straight to EMBAKASI South, where Elphas Lagat is on standby. Remember, voters decided today in EMBAKASI South and Ugenya as the DPP seeks to prosecute ODM's Ugenya candidate. That is among the developments ahead of today's by-elections. Let's take a look at what's happening on the ground, and we are listening in now to what is currently happening in Ugenya, and let's listen in to Laura Otieno, who is on standby there.
Well, good evening, Lillian. First of all, here in Ugenya constituency, the by-election process is almost approaching its tail end because we are at the constituency tallying center, which is the Sega Youth Polytechnic. Now, across the day, well, most polling centers opened at 6 a.m. and there was a significant turnout because most of the polling stations in particular polling centers already had queues as early as 5:30 in the morning. There were elderly people that we saw showing up, or rather turning up at the polling centers very early in the morning to basically cast their vote. So right now what's going on, now we have established that in most of the 112 polling centers across this constituency, tallying is underway of votes, except in one station where voting was going on well into 7 p.m. because of the failure of the KIEMS kits. But right now what's going on, basically behind me, there is a tent where the respective presiding officers from the 112 polling centers are converging under this tent for a sort of inventory check, because what I'm told is that they are submitting back their KIEMS kits and the various items that they were given to enable them handle that election process, and then from here they will be moving into the constituency tallying center, where the constituency returning officer, Mr. Vincent Saitabao, is seated waiting to receive the Form 35As from all the 112 polling centers in order to make one conclusive agreement. And here the voting process was rather smooth in most places, except for the failure of KIEMS kits that was reported in various centers. But what IBC did as a measure was to extend the voting time by for example, in a particular polling station where voting was delayed by 30 minutes because of failure of KIEMS kits, then they were forced to extend the voting time by 30 minutes, therefore compensating the time that was lost during the failure of that KIEMS kit. In terms of security, so far only 3 people have been arrested in connection to being found with crude weapons. They were arraigned in court, and that is the only security incident that we have so far received information from the sub-county commander, Mr. Willie Simba, in terms of security. So right now, basically, as I said earlier, the voting process is, or rather the election process is approaching its tail end, and we will be moving into the constituency tallying center to basically see what the returning officer will be doing in terms of amalgamating the Form 35As and coming up with a comprehensive Form 35B, that will enable him announce the winner as of the numbers that he will be receiving at this particular place, Lillian.
Thank you for that, Laura. Laura saying on top of that story. And in the meantime, the ODM candidate in Ugenya, the immediate former Member of Parliament Chris Karan, could still be in trouble as Director of Public Prosecutions okayed his prosecution over alleged forgery. Karan is also to face 2 other charges of uttering false documents and providing misleading information to the courts contrary to Leadership and Integrity Act. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission claims the MP forged a letter purportedly from Al Farouk Hospital in Mombasa and used the same letter in a petition challenging his election at the High Court in Kisumu. Karan swore an affidavit claiming that he delayed responding to the petition beyond the stipulated period as he was unwell and had been admitted, but the EACC says they have since established that he was not in fact sick and was never admitted at the said hospital.